All right, we're back. I have a servo light. We're not in four-wheel drive. So let's see. Let's see if she's still in four-wheel drive. Okay, that's not. I feel like she's in four-wheel drive there. All right. Well, unfortunately, it's no good. I wouldn't have a servo light on if it was working. So we're screwed. I got $30 invested in that valve and it ain't working. Alright, so I gotta change it back out. Stay tuned. This is a continuation. Thanks for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up. You'll see more on Dana's Garage. This is replacing the four-wheel drive servo. I can show her up. Servo, four-wheel drive. Okay, we're home. We're working on her 07 Dodge Nitro. And the problem is it won't shift into four-wheel drive. So I just got back from Wilbert's and I found that selector valve. Selector solenoid, which I can't get up on the rack right now. Alright. So this is a selector valve. This is the one I just pull out. You got two number 10s. Got one on top, one on the bottom, and then you got a cannon plug. And it's as simple as that. But depending on how long it's been under the vehicle, is going to tell. It's going to be how hard it's going to be to get those screws out. Okay. Come in. That one. Okay, 2 taps. I'll do the top one same way. The ones I tried to get it out of were wasted. All right, that's that. Now we'll go ahead and put the plug back on. Put the plug on. Let's see if we can get some light. I just go ahead and put the plug on, and I hope I hear when we're doing it, because that'll be telling it it's pushing a piston. It's pushing a piston in, which is engaging the transaxle here into that. You're gonna get a little bit of fluid out of there, but it's all right. What is this? All right. I want to do it. I want to so I got solid. I know you can reach. It's so simple to do. My fingers in. I think they want like $139 for that thing. New. I just spent. I charged them 30 bucks for it. Again, there's the old one. That's how much fluid came out of it. And that's all it is. And the other one, I just noticed it's got a little bit of leakage in there, so hopefully it's going to engage here. Alright. Hey, Dana here, and welcome to my garage. As you can see, I am back at Wilbert's again. Today, I'm going to catch you up. I am working on my daughter's 07 Dodge Nitro, which of course I'm always working on. She says it's stuck in four-wheel drive. Well, I got It doesn't show four-wheel drive, but it is definitely in four-wheel drive. And it has got it's not manual engagement, it is electric. And it has a solenoid. So I found the solenoid, which is on the back side of the transfer case. And usually, because it is selectable, you turn the switch left and right, as you know. When you do that, you should hear a click or you should hear an engagement. You should hear something underneath. Well, we're not hearing anything. So coming out here, I tried Advance and I tried AutoZone for that solenoid, and guess what? Nope, you cannot get it. So I'm down here at Wilbert's and I'm looking for a Liberty and I'm looking for a Nitro, second generation Liberty, and a 1500. Definitely in the wrong area. Where are you hiding them? Okay, so we're gonna snag one out of a Liberty. That's all I got, no Nitros. So I've been running back and forth trying to find them and I don't see any. So he's got them in a different row than the normal Jeep section here. So that's a good thing, because I was down here 3 days ago getting tires and there were no Nitros down here and there weren't any Liberties. So guess what? Looks like they put them in a different row. We are in row 1515s, which are over here. I don't know why, but we're getting there. Anyway, that solenoid is not actuating, so it's not kicking it in or out of four-wheel drive. It is stuck in four-wheel drive. All right, let's go find these vehicles. Okay, I thought I was going to get away with having the same Liberty, but Liberty transmission, and of course, you know, with this one, you're kicking it back and forth, right? It's not turn, and unfortunately, down here, as you can see, it has got a different selector for it, which is what's coming off of. This is the wife's vehicle. Ouch. And I'm not having problems with that transmission, but we're having problems with the Nitro. And I thought, coming back here, getting the exact same. They can't give me a clear and concise setup here. I'm gonna have to run through these real quick and see if I can see the same setup. Maybe they don't know, but according to that, it's got to be a Nitro, and they got no Nitros in here. So I'm at the drawing board right now. Here's the 07 Liberty, and this is still first generation. So your second generation your second generation Liberty is not the same as you can see. It's got no selector at all, because it is a manual engagement. So that's not gonna fit your 07 Dodge Nitro. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna run through here, see what I find in four-wheel drive. in the Dodges, see if I find anything that's compatible. Not gonna be fun. Alright, well, I'm leaving Wilbert's empty-handed, other than I found a driver's side mirror for my Mustang. Who knew? 2000 Mustang out here, and it had a good driver's side mirror. Well, that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I'm gonna try and pull that solenoid apart, see if I can get it to work. If not, I gotta figure out a way to plug up the hole, because it's the solenoid, I think, is engaged. So I gotta disengage it somehow. And because with that pulled out, you need a seal. You need a seal in that thing to keep the fluid from running out. So that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, definitely share, and I'll continue this when I get home. Okay, we're home. This is what we're looking at. Goes right here. It's pushing that piston in. They're pushing that piston in. It's disengaging your four-wheel drive. For some reason, this solenoid piston is all the way out. I believe it goes back in here. And unfortunately, this is your seal. So you just can't leave a freaking thing open. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and pull this thing apart. See if I can get that, because I believe that's a little motor. See if I can get that to go back in. I think by that piston going in and out. So we're gonna see. Okay, I've almost got this nut cracked open. What I wound up doing is using my connector pin set. With each one of them things, we'll put it in here and pop and lock those little secure pins out. And then you've actually got one that's hiding in here. Let me pull that out. Alright, so that done, and then I just started prying around the outside with my little prier. We're going to pop that cover. Let's see what we got. Alright, I'll pull that cover off. We can see we got little gears. I don't see anything worn here. I don't understand why this thing isn't coming back. I don't know which way it goes. Oh, it screws in. Looks like we might be halfway or a little ways out. I've just got to come all the way up in here, and then it goes all the way back out there, depending on how that little thing is driven. Alright, let's see. I can't really do it with both hands because this one starts to pop out. Oh, kind of stiff. I don't see anything happening here. Don't see anything happening. Let's play a little bit more. Okay, by going this direction, this is coming back here. This is coming in. And it's coming, if we're going counterclockwise, see how far in we can get this thing. We'll get it back in there and see if we're good. Because right now it's out and it's pushing on that piston in there, and I think that's engaging the four-wheel drive. So if this is going out, it's pushing on that which is engaging it, and then when you turn your switch back to turn your four-wheel drive off, this comes back in. Okay, got it all the way back, as you can see, a little back up and button up against there. Also, you'll know because when you go to try and do this, all this stuff is going to try and pop out because it's all the way back. Alright, so I don't see anything wrong with this other than it's going to be either a burnout motor or the freaking something wrong with the just got 3 pins in there, 4 pins in there. Alright, let's put this cover back on. I'm going to also go look in there and see if I can find relays or fuses or something like that for this thing. Well, let's get this back together. All it is just squeezing it back together. Those little pins, those things grab and we're done. Okay, now you can look in here. You see that piston? Now it's all the way out because, of course, because now this piston is back. This little piston itself is back in. So again, it's you only got 2 freaking screws and then a plug. So let's see what happens here. All right, putting that back in. There's no resistance on that piston whatsoever. Before, when you pushed it in, when you pushed it in, you were pushing in against the piston. So right now, there's no resistance whatsoever. Now that that's reseated. All right, so let's get her down. Hopefully, we're out of 4-wheel drive. Oh man. What the heck happened there? Oh, we are out of fuel. Freaking amazing. She leaves me with no fuel. All right, I put about 2 gallons in. Let's see if it'll start. The gas gauge will freaking move. Not really. All right, so I got servo. Still got servo on. Oh, servo went out. Ooh, that's good. Okay. I don't think I can do anything with 4-wheel drive. All right. Yep. The switch will say it's in 4-wheel drive. Servo's back on. Okay, I'm going to go take 4-wheel drive off and see if servo still says service. And that's probably, and that's because I've got it disconnected. So, and 4-wheel drive is also engaged. Nope, it's out now. Gas gauge come up. Let's see if she's going to start. Man, I can't believe we run out of freaking gas on it. Alright. So, we got servo. I've got the servo on. Ain't gonna hurt. I'm gonna throw 4-wheel drive on. We're gonna lift it up. And then when I plug that back in, we're gonna see if that plug makes a noise. We'll see if that servo makes the noise when I lift it up. Well, it's not because I got the freaking got you out. Let's plug you back in. Yeah, nothing there. So let's see if anything happens, because you had the relay out for that as well. Everything's the way it is. Now let's go ahead and lift it up. Not gonna hurt anything. I don't think. That's I'm gonna have to freaking pull that relay back, pull that solenoid back out. And then bring it back in. I don't want to do that. I thought about that. If I plug that back in, that servo kicks back out and it won't come back in. I didn't find anything wrong with it. I think I'm gonna do that another day. Put that back down in there. Alright. Because if that servo kicks back out into 4-wheel drive, and I can't bring it back in, Yeah, I gotta get it back under there, and I'll pull that servo back off and then reset it. I just want to make sure the four-wheel drive is out on this now. Let me go from that point. Okay, she is disengaged. The four-wheel drive is disengaged. Ah, that's freaking awesome. Yep. Oh, you can tell when it's engaged because you're not going to be able to turn the wheel. When you're in four-wheel drive, it's designed for the wheels to be slipping when you're turning it, either in mud or snow or on ice or whatever. It's not meant when you try to turn around on a regular road with four-wheel drive during the year. You can only turn partially. You're not going to get a full throw of your wheels. Okay, so what did we learn here? That solenoid was partially out and it was pushing in on that little piston. So with that piston pushed all the way in, it's engaging your four-wheel drive. When you, with that little piston pull back out, both of them, the one inside the transfer case and the one inside that little servo, that disengages your four-wheel drive. Even though right now it says service the servo, that's because something's going on inside that servo. I could throw it back on. I'm gonna wait. I'll wait until I can find another Nitro and get the servo off of it. So I can troubleshoot it. I don't think that sucker's gonna, if plugged in. I don't know why I didn't find anything in there that was bad. I guess I can. The only thing is I'm gonna have to, if it re-engages and I can't disengage it, then I'm gonna have to pull that freaking solenoid apart again, rotate it back, and then disengage it. And you need that servo because it's got the O-ring that's sealing that whole system. You just can't leave that open. Of course, you get crap in there and you're screwed. But anyway, I got to do something with that cannon plug. If that solenoid is bad, and I plug that solenoid, the plug back into it, that would keep the plug. Because right now that plug is just hanging. You don't want to get stuff in it either. So yeah, let's try and plug it in and see what it does. Okay, we're back in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. Hopefully I don't hear anything. Okay, she's plugged in. I didn't hear anything. Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. All right. You got it. It's plastic. All right. I'll bring it back down. As we can see, the servo is still on. I've got it in side feel. If everything's gonna go the way it is. Servo is not going out. See if we hear anything. I don't hear anything. But might notice if four-wheel drive came on. So even if you select four-wheel drive, the light's on. Now I turned it off because I turned it off. You're still going to be servo. Okay, so next question is, let's drive it, see if it changed anything. All right, so it did not re-engage itself, which is awesome. Let's see. You won't be able to do this if your four-wheel drive is on. You will not be able to do this. What the fuck happened there? So even after plugging the plug back in, it didn't reset that servo. And I've already tried engaging four-wheel drive. Light gonna come on, light comes on, and let's see. Nope, we're still good. We're still disengaged. All right, that's all I cared about, because the servo is gonna be the issue. So anyway, the servo is bad at this point, because I don't see anything wrong with the fuse or anything. So anyway, all right. Well, as soon as I get another servo for this, I'll bring you back in. But for right now, you saw how I was able to bring that little piston back inside the servo to release the piston to disengage the four-wheel drive system. So that's where we're at. Hey, Dana here, and welcome to my vlog in my garage. We are back on this Dodge Nitro. During the winter time, she lost her four-wheel drive. Couldn't select it. And then I've also got the video in there that I changed the selector, and it still did the exact same thing. So I was down to Wilbert's yesterday. They have 5 Nitros down there. I wonder why. So I took another solenoid off of one, and we're going to swap this out, and we'll see if I can close this video out. So she now has four-wheel drive again. Stay tuned. Okay, now to remove that, you got number 210s that hold it. Okay, you get the little plunger in there, and that's what's selecting it. You get your cannon plug, and it's that simple. You got an O-ring around the outside of it. Just make sure it's clean. And you're just gonna hand stick it back in there. Depending on what position your system's in, it'll wind up having to push that plunger back. But right now, it's where it needs to be. And just put your 2 screws back on. All right, there we are. Okay, your 2 bolts, tighten it down. You will get a little bit of fluid out of there, but not much. All right, so put your cannon plug back on, and that's it. Now I did this I've done this already once, and it didn't work. All right, so and it's hiding here somewhere because I failed to get it back down there in 30 days. And get it replaced. Well, guess what? I'll be taking the other one down here today and get me another one. Alright, well, awesome. She now has 4-wheel drive. And you can hear it scream. And kicking out. Put it in gear. And it should go out. Alright. Fortunately, we got anti-skid and ABS issues. But she's got 4-wheel drive. Oh my God. Alright, thanks for watching. Like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, definitely share. You'll catch me on the next Dana's Garage. And this was replacing the 4-wheel drive servo on this 07 Nitro.